This is Tyler with the Open DAO, hanging out here with Yonks and eMoney 2 Zips. Super excited to have you guys on board for the first Relations Alliance here for Open DAO. So going to just go over a couple things real quick, some housekeeping items. We love live streaming. It fosters a culture of transparency. Everything we say is on the record. If you miss something, please go back and watch it. These are not live and gone. These are live and on YouTube. So feel free to take a look at that. If you're watching, smash that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We love the love on YouTube, and we do monitor that in real time. So this is live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and LinkedIn, and we do monitor YouTube in real time. So would love to have Yonks and eMoney give us some quick intros, and then we'll get into the Relations Alliance.
Go for it, eMoney. All you, my friend.
Hey guys, how are you? My name is eMoney 2 Zips. I am getting heavily invested in and involved with the DAO. I love this whole project, and I'm super excited to build something with all the other NFT creators and collectors out there that will really benefit the whole of the community and help onboard newcomers into the community.
Awesome. Super excited to have you here. Yonks, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Love the DAO, decentralized autonomous organization space. We absolutely believe that it is the future of work and want to give a call to action. If you've been sitting on the sidelines wondering like what project or what DAO or where should I fit in the Web3 ecosystem, this is an unparalleled opportunity. Mrs. Yonks and I have been working full-time in this space since June of 2021, and we couldn't be more excited as far as the positioning where we're at going into 2022. And we haven't seen a project garner this much excitement this fast. And I'm going to just real quick segue in, and this is a little bit out of scope of a personal introduction, but it's worthwhile because here's some facts as far as where we are at. Open DAO facts. We break records. Like, this is a DAO that literally just came out of nowhere, did this amazing airdrop to the OpenSea user base. And right now we've got over 57,000 Discord members, 135,000 Twitter followers. I think we just clicked over 214,000 on-chain holders, and over 290,000 people claimed their airdrop on this for the Open DAO. So if you've been wondering what project or what DAO should you engage in, it's absolutely this one right now. And this is this will probably be one of my very favorite alliances. This is one of 4 DAOs that Mrs. Yonks and I are very actively engaged in, and long list of reasons why, but the excitement and just the quality of people that have been attracted to the momentum, and really looking forward to seeing where we're going to take this. And we had one of our cohorts here, Ernest of Gaia. I don't know if he's able to speak to everybody, do a real quick introduction, but if you are, we would love to hear your story, Ernest.
Oh man, it's late in the day. Yeah, but no, got the SOS drop, and partly because y'all have been checking it out already. I've been kind of just following, content that you've been putting out, and yeah, poking around a little bit in the Discord. Hopefully they have an affordable housing chat or conversation someday. And yeah, I think my main interest is like education, research, and then of course like DAO relationships in Bankless. So yeah, this sounded like a similar kind of a group wanting to get together and share the different types of relationships, build different types of relationships. So
Awesome.
Well,
Well,
you showed up. You showed up at the right Alliance team meeting, because that's what we're here tonight to talk about, is the Relations Alliance. And over to you, Ms. Yonks.
yeah, well, Ernest, we're so glad you're here. It's kind of funny that you showed up. I was actually telling Imani on a different call what a hugely high opinion Jason and I have of you, and to thank you for everything that you've contributed to Retokens, our other community. So we're hoping to get you guys together to collaborate and whatever, and here you are. So welcome. Super excited. So, okay, the Relations Alliance. The purpose of the Relation Alliance is to be diplomats, to be ambassadors to the community, to welcome representatives of other communities to Open DAO, and to make sure that we all have the same goals and values. We've talked about this before. We have such a hugely high opinion of Bankless DAO. Anybody who you happen to see on Discord that has a black flag in their username is usually associated with Bankless. That's one of the icons of their Discord. So I don't know if you have ever seen that or wondered why that was, but that's what it is. Those people identify as supporters of Bankless DAO, and wanted to just talk about so eMoney and Ernest and Yonks. Do you guys want to talk about any DAOs that you've been a part of, that where you've gone from DAO to DAO? You were started in one, you found out about another, or there were streaming chats. How did you first get from your first DAO to your second DAO? What diplomacy has been going on in your other network?
Well, I'll definitely jump on this one, because one of the DAOs that I'm a part of, actually one of the multi-sig people for Open DAO, was a huge part of Tokamak. So Tokamak is a interesting DAO. I was actually doing research into different methods of liquidity providing when I stumbled onto them. And I'm not going to go into a long story about how their tokenomics work, but the short story is their DAO exists to help other DAOs and crypto projects gain liquidity by allowing for an alternative format for staking tokens and providing liquidity. Super cool. One of the best things about it, though, is that they had these events called the collateralization of reactor events, and essentially each of their pools is called a reactor, and they opened up the Discord to any eligible project who had submitted that they would like to be voted on, and the leadership from that project was able to come to the Discord and talk about what they were doing. And it was through one of those core events that I found out about a ton of other DAOs. It was awesome. And like, I got to hear from the people that were most invested and like that actually wanted the assistance of Tokamak. And a lot of them made really good arguments and and were available. It was just awesome. They were available for questioning. I mean, it was a great experience. 10 out of 10. Probably one of the best marketing tools I've ever seen hosted by a third party.
Awesome.
It was great.
I love it. It's fantastic. Ernest, saw that you dropped in the comments that you're going to be the DAO Relationship Governance Coordinator and Bankless for next season. So yes, we'd love to have you share resources and whatever you would like with the Open DAO community. So Ernest, can you just talk a little bit about Bankless? That's another DAO that we just love. We love their onboarding. The community is so on point. Can you talk about what you do with them and or any other DAOs that you've been associated with?
Oh man, Bankless is huge. We had a 300 members in last coordinate, just about the last monthly coordinate. So we'll see how many. Because we got like thousands in our Discord, but the coordinate is probably much more reflective of people that are active enough to to be aware of the coordinates, at least. I'm active or passive in about 7 of their 13 guilds and 5 projects. So it's just been like a matter of time of being in the DAO space, and you start running, especially one like Bankless, where it's a little bit of everything, because everybody's ultimately reducing their dependency on fiat systems. But I do. I'm also participate in the book club in Bankless. So I've been trying to participate in book clubs and other DAOs. My dream one day is to just be active in book clubs across DAOs and and just do that for retire like in a DAO book club somewhere.
That's amazing. Yes.
But yeah, the DAOists DAO, I actually knew one of the founders, and met him and worked with him in San Francisco. So I began helping them to kind of like, form their group. And then, yeah, there's another DAOist DAO that's more like based out of Europe and South America. And then, of course, the Retoken DAO, which, they're focused on affordable housing and using blockchain to, disrupt that industry, and provide new solutions is, what attracted me to Retoken, especially since I'd like to live in a cooperative housing someday. I've always lived cooperatively on farms or other like cooperative housing arrangements, but yeah, blockchain, Discord changes everything, and then the blockchain really changes everything.
I love it.
Yeah, and I basically been in crypto for 4 or 5 years, and I won't buy crypto that I can't test. So that's what's got me to have a very broad perspective and to be, yeah, like I don't know anything about ADA because they've really never had anything non-test net to test until just recently. But, video games, Brave, Pre-Search, I earned crypto for walking. So
yeah, that's amazing. You had mentioned that before. That's spectacular. So I feel like if you can earn money from walking, you can like be a retired DAO booklomat. Right? That's what I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you a DAO booklomat. That's I love that. Yonks, give us an example of some communities that you've been a part of, a diplomacy and just connecting across the lines. Let's hear some stories around that.
So that is an ongoing and unfolding conversation. One of the more interesting DAOs that looking forward to seeing how it will unfold here in 2022 is BitDAO. And for those that don't know, BitDAO is one of the largest and deepest treasuries that in the DAO space that exist. And that's something that Tyler and I are going through a new ambassador program that they are launching here. And that's it's looking forward, like they recently endowed or granted, I don't exactly understand what the tokenomics or whatever exist, but Game 7, 500 million to basically bankroll a play to earn through Game 7. And then more recently, that was like middle of November. And then more recently here, I think like, I don't know, 2 to 4 weeks ago, EDU DAO, which is a 33 million, which is 11 million a year for the next 3 years. So the opportunity to really be involved, because they're really wanting to basically have a bunch of autonomous entities, basically other DAOs within this overarching DAO factory or whatever you want to call it. So it'll be very exciting. That's one of the things that really attracted to come back to Ernest's conversation about cooperative housing. One of the utility NFTs that we have a vision for is creating a cooperative co-op housing NFT, which we believe can lead into a cooperative housing protocol. And this is an avenue here. You know, this is the largest NFT community that exists, and looking forward to, you know, interweaving various DAO diplomacy throughout the ecosystem. And another super fun community, and Mrs. Yonks can attest to that, is the Token Engineering Commons.
They're great. Shout out to
Yes.
PC.
Yeah.
One of the things that has been interesting about Open DAO being so big and so new is that we all have an opportunity right now to have maybe an outsized say in shaping a positive culture. One of the things that we love in a commitment to transparency is all this video recording. Another thing that we love is so many of these people that have stepped up have been involved in a few or a bunch of other DAOs. Token Engineering Commons starts all their calls off with praise, and it sounds kind of cheesy until you listen to it, and it's amazing. And so it says, I want to praise eMoney for being so transparent about your NFT story, and I want to praise Ernest for all the amazing ways you contribute through comments and resources and ideas, and I want to praise Yonks for always being open to all this research and just doing all the hard work behind the scenes. And they start doing it, and then they kind of pass it around. And if you're a new person on this call, it is amazing how good you feel about being part of this DAO on your first meeting. You're like, wow, so many people are doing all this work, and so many other people see it and recognize it and say it in public. It's spectacular. So they're just something that I just want to encourage all of us to brainstorm about this call are positive things that we want to grab from other DAOs, and also think through what is a more formalized process, because I don't want everybody to reach out to everybody in their network about everything. That's just going to be really unwieldy. But what are some different ways that we can kind of brainstorm and form this ambassador culture so that we're always mixing our networks and blending new people into Open DAO and spreading the Open DAO message? And yeah, so who's got an idea on what brainstorming we want to do on the culture shift? Who's got a great idea from another DAO that we want to implement in Open DAO? Let's just kind of spend the next few minutes just brainstorming about stuff.
Well, I've got a couple of things.
Jason, can you write these down, please?
So the first thing, actually, this isn't from a DAO, but this is something that is kind of a bridge between my experience in restaurants and my experience with the Bulls. But one of the things that I thought of that would be really useful for the DAO, Open DAO, to do, and would be helpful in the interim until we can create our own literature, is gathering a pool of resources and making it available to NFT creators on topics that will help with the creation, security, marketing, all kinds of stuff like that, because there's a ton of data out there and people that will talk to up and coming creators. And we could even arrange for some of them to speak in Twitter Spaces for free. They don't mind the free publicity, and tons of people are willing to help. And I think that would be a great way to start building relationships with the communities that are going to contribute back to us in the long run.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea.
The other thing I was thinking of is actually organizing a small away team of volunteers to go to other DAOs and just absorb information and learn from them. I know that Ernest has experience with Bankless. I literally, until last week, hadn't even heard of Bankless. I think it's an awesome idea, though. And I would love to just go in there and absorb some of their culture and stuff for a week or two, and then bring whatever I've got back to the table. We had a lot of experience with this, or a lot of success with this, for one of my small groups on the Bulls server.
Jason, can you add away team as a bullet point?
Really, it was like a mostly passive group. We would go in, talk, definitely not ever talk about our project, just like, you know, get into the community, say hello, learn as much as we could, and then come back to the table. And it generated some great ideas.
That's awesome. Something that Jason and I used to play a mobile game together that was also organized on Discord. That game was the first time I personally was on Discord. And one of the things that we did was a guild of guilds of this club of this mobile game. And it was just a way for us to connect and share resources, not necessarily about game strategy, but just about organizing your club and being effective. I don't know, something like that would be effective, like a mastermind where we pick maybe one or two. I don't want everybody from every DAO in this thing, but if we say, okay, a few ambassadors and maybe one or two invited people from some DAOs, we get together and just brainstorm about the stuff, like a mastermind group.
So one thing, and this is something that Mrs. Yonks and I have mentioned on some of our other calls, but one of the recurring things that we have seen on, I think, almost every alliance here is this one right here: create a seamless onboarding process for new talents. And one of the things I don't know if, and I don't know how Relations Alliance resonates with everyone. I'm just kind of putting this out there. I really like the connotation of ambassador. I think that I think potentially the same type of dynamic, but just putting that out there for some thoughts, because I think that the onboarding experience should really be owned by this particular alliance, whether we keep the Relations Alliance or whatever, because the opportunity to really make people feel welcome. And I just got to do a real quick plug over here for the alliance roles, because this is an unprecedented opportunity for people to get involved here. We're hanging out here on Sunday night, very early Monday morning, depending on what part of the country that you're in. And this is the channel right here in our Discord under Open DAO Verify. And this is really where all the action happens as far as moving the organization forward. So this is just an invite to everybody. This is me and us inviting you to participate. It doesn't matter what your experience is within this space. We're all learning here. And at the end of the day, we're so early. Blockchain, crypto, DAOs, Web3, whatever label that you want to put on it, we have not hit critical mass adoption yet, and it's coming. So the opportunity to come here and learn with us, that this is your invitation to hold hands and go through this process together. So tell us, Ernest, about the we keep on hearing, and this is something that Mrs. Yonks has spoken about. We've talked a little bit about the first quest. So how long has Bankless had it categorized or labeled as the first quest?
So remember, the first quest just started out as like, you know, when you get into a Discord, you know, you start at a channel and then you go to another channel, and if you complete a task, you know, which might just be clicking an emoji, it opens up to the next like quest. So there's kind of like a small section in their Discord that you stay in until you go through the kind of bare bones things that we want new members to do as far as understanding our missions and values and kind of how we work, but as well as like going to two different channels within the guild where you kind of like give your introduction, and then that's how you also get your guest pass. So you learn, you know, the mission and the values, which you need to align with. Essentially, you learn a little bit about navigating in the Discord, and you pick up your roles, you know, or at least you're made aware of the Discord roles and kind of projects, you know, very similar to what SOS did with the Alliance post and whatnot. But it's the quest is, you know, that process of not opening up more of the Discord until they've gone through the quests, you know. And in Bankless, if you don't verify your collab.land bot, there's certain channels you won't get access to, where like the Ask a Mentor channel, right? So we don't want anybody just dropping in, even though the Ask a Mentor channel is one of our most public channels, we still don't want a complete anon to kind of come in there and be able to say, hey, I'm a mentor. Yeah, just give me your private key, you know, and I'll help you out. So yeah, that first quest is what determines the access that our guest passers or level ones enter in with.
And just out of curiosity, is that facilitated via like a token at the end, or is it just facilitated via a Discord role today?
Yeah, no, it's just a Discord role tag, but you can see as we're transitioning to like using bots, we're trying to make it a little bit more engaging experience. We also, it's all text-based, so we don't have like the video with the text, you know, which might be better for visual learners, because a lot of people just like look for the emoji, click, look for the, you know, but, you know, having a first quest that addresses multiple learning styles changes that. But, you know, just start with the quest first, you know, identifying how you want people to get oriented and, you know, into some kind of communication loop so that they know where to keep coming back to.
Yeah, I love this idea. And Jason, did you put building a quest on our list of stuff to research or brainstorm about? Because I think that's a really great idea. One of the things, and Imani, I know you said you weren't familiar with Bankless before. Go in their server and screenshot or copy and paste all of their different things, because it says read this paragraph and then click here, and then read this paragraph and then click here. And it's some of that is sure a bot could probably, because it's not like you have to click one button out of dozens, you just click one. But if you are reading it, you get it says read this paragraph, watch this guy on video, read this paragraph, and it's not a huge list, it's one thing, and then it unfolds down. So a onboarding quest is really good. The other thing that I don't know if we want to do some kind of a non-monetary value, but an NFT or something to say, hey, you went through the onboarding quest, wouldn't cost the community anything, but you did Bright ID or Proof of Humanity or similar, and you did like you read this and somebody met you in person, or like met you on a voice chat, verified that you're an actual person, and those kind of things. I mean, if people really want to go high touch, that's how you get from 18,000 to 300.
Yeah, and I really like that idea too, because the opportunity, I mean, we are obviously an NFT community, and one of the projects that I already have experience with is Unlock Protocol, and it literally took us weeks to find the right solution as far as.
Can you tell everybody what Unlock Protocol is if they're not familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it's really, as far as what we could see, is it truly allows, whether it's
Hello, how's it going?
creators or
Good,
other people, to own their own community, so, or own their own content or their own platform. So instead of like using OpenSea, for example, and this is something that I think we tried OpenSea, we tried a couple other NFT minting platforms, and we ended up using Unlock Protocol to create our own smart contract that we own. So there's not like any platform that takes any transaction fees. And then with that, we were able to set up our own website where instead of like going to, you know, OpenSea to acquire NFT, and where this could fit, going back to like this type of first quest or onboarding quest, is that, you know, we could create some type of onboarding experience like welcome to DAOs, or, you know, whatever. And then, you know, we could literally at the end of that, they could have an NFT to signify that they are an NFT initiate, or whatever that we wanted to call that. And then the awesome thing about that is that they have, you know, an NFT that represents that they completed this milestone within the Open DAO.
The other thing that we could, so I think I took us a little off track for the purpose of relations or ambassador or whatever. One of the things that I would love to have is, and if the community ends up liking this live stream format and wants to keep doing it, I would love to have a vote, maybe once a week, or not too often, but just regularly enough, where we interview the creator of another DAO or a key member of another DAO. Somebody invites them, we vote on who we want to hear from, maybe just a few sentences, not a few sentences, a few words about what they do. And I think we have such a big community, it would be really cool to say, this is a friend, not an official endorsement, not anything, but somebody that has been a leader in our community, knows this person, and either an AMA is a really good idea, or an interview, or a whatever. But I would love to, so Imani, I would love to say, hey, you don't know about Bankless and I do, and I know Ernest, and we should interview Ernest, or we should ask Ernest who we should interview. That's the kind of thing that we could expose our community to. A lot of our networks are saying, hey, I'd never heard of Wall Street Bulls and you're an expert, so like, can I interview you about that? Or I didn't know Suchi until a week ago, so whatever.
I definitely think that we can take that a step farther. A lot of the people that got airdropped large amounts of SOS tokens were probably project creators. And I know for a fact that at least 2 of the people that are on the multi-sigs are members of major DAOs. So we could probably actually set up either a structured interview or an AMA with those people that are actually like foundational information sources.
I love that idea. We can even call it like Friends of Open DAO or whatever, something unofficial, but yeah, we love it.
Like that's easy free money right there. And there's a ton of people. I think that after we see the AMA tomorrow, we'll probably have a little bit more of an idea of how to approach this, but I definitely think that could be a huge hook to get people involved. That's
I love that idea. And we could do kind of a cross platform of asking people if they would make an announcement in their DAO, and we'll make it one in ours about both. And then Ernest just piped in with a really good point that it's pretty likely that everybody in a major DAO either owns some SOS or they got an airdrop. That even if they sold it, they probably got some.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely think that. I know that the 2 guys are the leadership team of the Wall Street Bulls for certain. I mean, we could probably, I mean, hell, y'all, I would not be surprised if the people like the major collectors on the Bored Apes got a bunch of them. I mean, we should probably crowdsource that and see what we can come up with. That's a huge opportunity right there.
Yeah, I think I would love
not only to get something for the people, but also to get a little bit more direct involvement and guidance from those individuals in particular.
Yeah,
that could be huge.
I'd love to set up a channel where we just do the same way that OpenSig signers got on the list of saying 50 thumbs up. I would love to set up a channel saying just the name of the DAO and like like no more than one sentence about what they do, and then we give 50 thumbs up, and then everybody that does, we put them on a board and then just vote. And I think that would be great. We could, if there's a lot of demand for this, we could actually turn this into a recurring show. It'd be a great way to cross promote things. It would also give people an entry in. So they say, hey, I know eMoney. So now that I'm in this Discord, I don't know what's going on, but I've got the guy I can tag.
100%. And you know,
And
we could, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like everybody agrees that this is some absolutely low hanging fruit here, and you know this is an easy format, the live stream format, and then this could easily be repurposed into a podcast. So like the opportunity for us, the Open DAO, to be, you know, a content machine and leverage the momentum, and this is just something that we could make a solid content strategy. I mean, this is probably something that we could easily do like 3 shows a week. And the great thing about the live stream format is, you know, you can just have a nice little hour chunk, and then it's a fun dynamic, and it's a very open, and then the opportunity to easily repurpose that into a podcast so that people can consume that in whatever manner that they would like, is a great ideas tossing around here.
Yeah, and for Jason, are you writing down all these? Because I feel like we're getting tons of good stuff. I want to make sure we get this captured.
Yeah,
also,
I got this brainstorming section here. I don't think I've missed anything.
oh, okay, awesome. One of the things too is anybody that has a YouTube channel, this would be a great thing to simulcast to all of our channels and all of their channels. And the way that we could do this is, have you guys been in DAOs? I'm assuming you probably all have, where they had an announcement feeds coming in from other DAOs. You know what I mean?
Not directly.
Or Jason, can you talk to that? Can you talk, or can you show the announcement feed that we do? I think this may be better to show.
Yeah, so we've got a diplomacy section on this is the retoken Discord, and this is actually right now where the live stream feed is coming in. This is something that we're hoping to get hooked up here on, and this is of course assuming that the Open DAO community loves the Open DAO or the live stream format and the opportunity. What she's talking about, like UMA collaboration. So anytime that UMA does an announcement, it shows up automatically here because we use this follow functionality. So like over here on Open DAO, so like this would be an easy Discord enhancement for like Wall Street Bulls, for example. So over here on the official announcements, you just click on this follow button, and then any server that you're in that you have the privileges to, you can add that where any of the official announcements get automatically pulled in so that your community members can stay apprised of, you know, basically like a diplomacy. So the opportunity as we're building out this like Friends of Open DAO or whatever, the opportunity for us to have that here, because that's one of the things, like you can see I'm in like I don't even know how many Discord servers I'm in, but it just makes it easier to stay apprised as far as the official announcements from other servers, where you don't even have to leave your own Discord home base.
Yeah, and the great thing about it too is it's such an honoring way to say your DAO is important to our DAO. We want your announcements because we think that they're important. So we don't add just anybody willy-nilly. They're only stuff that we think, and they don't get notified. They just are a white channel. So nobody shows up randomly. You're not pinging people all day, whatever. And if people just don't like those channels, they can mute them. But it's so great when I'm like, hey, I wonder what's going on at UMA. I wonder what's going on at Bankless. I wonder what's going on here. I wonder what's going on there. And I don't have to go into their Discord and get sucked into rabbit holes and discussions and whatever, just want to know what's going on. So it's just really great. I think the same thing for Open DAO. We feed in the kind of the friends, and that's it.
Well, we only have 5 minutes left here. So as far as capturing some next actions, we've been doing a lot of brainstorming here. And this is one of the things to, like we're still figuring out what the governance workflow is. And I feel really glad that we have hosted, like going back to the and this is going to be a plug for the AMA. I think Mrs. Yonks mentioned that earlier. So the next big opportunity that you absolutely do not want to miss, it's 5 o'clock UTC, noon Eastern, and I'll bring open the official announcements channel here for that. Let me see if it's in this or in DAO News. Let's see. So right here, a moment that all of us have been waiting for is here. First official Open DAO community AMA, 5 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. PST, noon EST. So right now that's planned for the Open DAO Discord Amphitheater, which is right up here. So that will be a huge opportunity to hear from 9x9x9 and the early contributors that have brought us this far. A lot of work to go back to, a lot of work to be done. But going back to our agenda here for today, we've got a lot of ideas, and one of the things that we need to do is move forward with like some type of, I think that this is the one that I saw the most excitement and it seems like the lowest hanging fruit on. So does somebody want to take an action item to create a proposal from the Relations Alliance to move this conversation forward to garner more wider support from the entire Open DAO community?
Yeah, I can get on that. I'll reach out to Ernest as well and have him proofread it. I'll get that out probably within the next 24 hours.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, well, I'll reach out and see if we can maybe snag an insider first and maybe line up like 2 or 3. I don't know. I might reach out to a mod first before I do a proposal, just to make sure that that's not like uncouth to request them to come do interviews without like checking with them first.
Well, one of the things that we were thinking about doing was saying anybody can nominate somebody. The 50 thumbs up is what would put them on the list, and then we could vote, and we could either interview them all, or we could just say, who do you guys want? And once they get the 50 thumbs up, we could leave them on the list every week until they're number 1 or whatever, so that we're not overloading people with all these AMAs. But I think there's just something really honoring about saying, okay, Bankless got 400 thumbs up. That's probably a good representation that people are really interested in it, or that there are a bunch of them in here. That kind of thing would be just good information for people to know.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
So we can do it super easy with sesh polling. Just yeah, we can, yeah. So it doesn't have to be anything formal in Snapshot, but if they're open to that, it's the same. Sorry, baby. It's the same thing that we were doing with the multi-sig signers. Get a preliminary stamp of approval from the community and then vote. And then we could just do it with Sash because it's not something nearly as important as multi-sig.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely bring up Sesh. I'll hopefully we'll be able to get a mod representative in here for the next meeting, so we can actually have like some direct feedback.
Sure.
That's one of my first moves that I'm trying to make, like to get that established so that there's somebody there. So
No, that's awesome. Well, we're right at excuse me, right
matter
at
of fact,
time.
you can put that on the action list that I'm gonna also get mod representation on alliance boards.
Awesome. Jason, can you add that to the next actions? I'll get him to do that. Okay. So we're right at the hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But thank you so much, Yonks and eMoney2Zips. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everybody in the audience on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we're just really grateful for all the support and ideas and questions and comments. We started this channel 2 days ago. We're already up to 300 subscribers almost. So really grateful for all the engagement and would love to keep producing great, high quality, and interesting content for the.
Yes, ma'am. Have a wonderful night.
Hey, you too. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks.